Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Zane and today we'll be having a look at Rivian. Some news in the space of Rivian. Rivian running pilot production tests for its own battery factory. Now a number of Rivian executives in charge of production and battery development have visited Korea recently to prepare for a pilot production run in local facilities. So after the battery development and production partnership with Samsung fell through, Rivian was reportedly still left with Korean suppliers as the only option to gain know-how and speed its American battery factory plans. Now, following its failed battery joint venture with Samsung, electric truck maker Rivian is nevertheless still planning to go ahead with a pilot battery production. Rivian intends to build its own battery gigafactory in America instead of depending on whims of suppliers, and aims to expand power cell production for its electric vehicle there to 100 gigawatts capacity by 2030. Unfortunately, the R1T and R1S trucks assembly delay prevent Rivian from purchase volume commitments. While its technology transfer demands seem unacceptable, so its potential battery development and manufacturing partner Samsung gave up and formed such a joint venture with Stellantis instead. Left to go on its own way with the planned US battery factory, Rivian still has to turn to Korean suppliers for pilot run, as that's reported the only place with the capacity and know-how to help achieve its battery production goal at the moment. China's largest battery maker, like CATL, either lacks the necessary skills or their production facilities are booked for months ahead, whereas European or Japanese battery firms don't have the capacity or will for overseas expansions just yet. Tipped the industry insider, according to one of the Rivian's potential battery maker equipment supplier in Korea. Rivian plans to make a prismatic battery using a ternary cathode material in the United States. We have been continuously discussing the battery design and production with our partners, and it's advantageous for battery production to increase the synergy effect with the Korean supply industry. So recently, a number of Rivian execs have visited Korea to tour the potential battery line facilities and to prepare them for pilot production run. They include Victor Parajapti, Senior Director of Cell Engineering at Rivian, as well as Mark Johnson, its Senior Engineer of Production. Another interesting figure mentioned in the report, Park Ki-tae, whose LinkedIn profile state that he is an ex-Samsung manager who now works in the United States and specializes in design of manufacturing line. That's precisely what Rivian seems determined to build in the United States, after it obtained the know-how and experience in battery production from Korean suppliers and manufacturers via its own pilot production lines there. Into local industry insiders, this is Rivian's strategy to speed up its own battery production by preparing a domestic pilot line and achieve the electric vehicle production target early. Because we're well aware of Rivian activities and development for their United States battery plant, but now we've got some more information on their development process, and it definitely seems that they're having some difficulty, which is not surprising. But here's where it gets interesting. Earlier I did state that Rivian had a partnership that fell through, it fell apart, a partnership that was with Samsung. Now we have some more information on this partnership. Rivian's battery partnership with Samsung fall apart due to unacceptable demands by Rivian. So instead of creating a battery development and manufacturing partnership with Rivian, Samsung created such a venture with Stellantis. As the maker of the R1T pickup truck went into production delay spiral, not only couldn't Rivian commit on purchase volumes, but it also wanted unacceptable technology transfers. The once high-flying electric pickup darling Rivian saw its shares drop more than 40% from their November IPO price, knocking it off the $144 billion valuation perch. Since the first production R1T truck got to its buyer in September, Rivian has only been able to ramp up its factory capacity to 200 vehicles or 200 units per week, explaining why investors are punishing its stock price. Adding the Rivian worries is now the news that those production delays prevented from securing the desirable partnership with Samsung SDI over battery development and manufacturing. So Rivian and Samsung were in talks to build an exclusive cell factory for an electric car maker in America, as Rivian wants to have a battery production capacity of 100 gigawatts by 2025. Those talks have now ended because Rivian production yield mishap, reports Korean media, and also on account of demand put forward by the electric truck maker. Rivian had requested a transfer of battery making technology and also rights to the impact of interior of factories. They said, which was unacceptable for Samsung SDI, the US firm also didn't guarantee to buy certain amount of battery produced, they said. So despite making only a few hundred electric vehicles per week, Rivian's stock market value is still on equal footing with many legacy stalwarts. While a battery making technology transfer isn't happening, Samsung SDI will still continue to provide it with cylinder batteries and even notch the first Rivian related revenue in its recent quarterly result reports. Rather than further entertaining Rivian, though, Samsung went and formed a joint venture to produce battery cells and modular for North America with Stellantis instead. Now, of course, it doesn't surprise me that this is happening because Samsung is one of those companies that are extremely big, and they always seem to be creating something for someone. Most of the time, Samsung has created chips for Apple phones, and they've created battery for multiple companies. Samsung always surprises you with what they're doing, but the surprising thing is that people don't seem to understand that they often need Samsung a lot more than Samsung needs them. Samsung is a huge company. In fact, they're so huge that they've managed to just split up their company into multiple different companies. Samsung SDI, the list continues, many different companies of Samsung. And this just proves it. If you're not going to be serious with Samsung, they're not going to be serious with you, and they'll just take their brilliant business and innovation. And I've always respected Samsung for their business. So that's it for our Rivian news today. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching until the end. I really appreciate that. Subscribe, leave a comment, and let's have a discussion. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.